It's that time for The Grease with Ron Anthony. Let's get right to it. Hey, this is Ron Anthony, Real Issues, and I have this for you. I'm going to be talking about the law of the land and some other things that we need to know about how to work this law in our system, because we are under the law. We're not under man's law. This is the law that God has given for us to follow. So I want you all to listen to this, learn from it. This is the law of the land. I've already went over jury duty, the secrets behind that. Okay, check this out. The general misconception is that any statute passed by legislators bearing the appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. The United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for a law which violates the Constitution to be valid. This is succinctly stated as follows. All laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. That's Marbury versus Madison. Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rule making or legislation which would abrogate them. Miranda versus Arizona. An unconstitutional act is not law. It confers no right. It imposes no duties, affords no protection. It creates no office. It is in legal contemplation as inoperative as though it had never been passed. Norton versus Shelby County. The general rule is that an unconstitutional statute, through having the form and name of law, is in reality no law, but is wholly void and ineffective for any purpose, since unconstitutionality dates from the time of its enactment and not merely from the date of the decision, so branding it. No one is bound to obey an unconstitutional law, and no courts are bound to enforce it. Now, these are the things that we've been going through, like right now with the Constitution, unconstitution. Now, in order for you to be under that or in that Constitution, you have to know what nation you are, because all this black, white, all of that has nothing to do with being in a nation. You have to be in some sort of a tribe, and this goes way back, just like you have the Europeans, you have the American. I mean, you have to be with something in that form, because anything other than that, like if you're black or you're white, that's under the United States Corporation. A summary of the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments represent God's government over man. God commands us for our own good to give up wrongs and not rights. His system always results in liberty and freedom. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights are built on this foundation, which provides for punitive justice. It is not until one damages another's persons or property that he can be punished. Now, if you beat somebody up or something like that, or steal somebody's property or take their land or do something to their car, then you have to go through a regular legal proceeding for that. Now, that is something that we have to do. That's somebody's person or their property. The Marxist system leads to bondage, and God's system leads to liberty. I'm going to do this for you. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not covet. Directly above the Chief Justice chair is a tablet signifying the Ten Commandments. When the Speaker of the House in the United States Congress looks up, his eyes look into the face of Moses. The Bible is the book upon which this republic rests. Andrew Jackson, 7th President of the United States. The moral principle and precept contains in the scriptures ought to form the basis of our civil constitution and laws. All the miseries and evils which men suffer from vice, crime, ambition, injustice, oppression, slavery, and war proceeds from their despising or neglecting the precepts contained in the Bible. Noah Webster. A summary of the Communist Manifesto. Now check this out. The Communist Manifesto represents a misguided philosophy which teaches the citizens to give up their rights. for the sake of the common good, but it always ends in a police state. This is called preventative justice. Control is the key concept. And right here it says, read carefully. Okay, check this out. Abolition of private property, heavy progressive income tax, abolition of all rights of inheritance, confiscation of property of all immigrants and rebels, central banks, government control of communication and transportation, government ownership of factories and agriculture, government control of labor, corporate farms, regional planning, government control of education. All this is what we're going through right now. This is what's being correct. Actually, the fake government is being rebuked because they're putting all this back in the Constitution for the Americans. So if you are an American, you better say you're an American, because if you're saying you're black or you're white, that's not going to fly, because that's under the United States Corporation. And believe me, they will use that, because you're still going to have some people blinded by that because they don't read, they don't comprehend, they don't listen to the law, they just live. And you got to know the law of the land. That's why I'm giving this right now. Give up rights for the common good. Where the people fear the government, you have tyranny. Where the government fear the people, you have liberty. Politicians, bureaucrats, and especially judges would have you believe that too much freedom will result in chaos. Therefore, we should gladly give up some of our rights for the good of the community. In other words, people acting in the name of government say we need more laws and more jurors to enforce these laws, even if we have to give up some rights in the process. Now that is totally unconstitutional. So we know that is going on right now, but we're in the process of changing that. And we, the people, must know these laws in order to change it. Do not allow them to use this on you. They believe the more laws we have, the more control, thus a better society. This theory may sound good on paper, and apparently many of our leaders think this way, as evidenced by the thousands of new laws that are added to the book each year in this country. Now, it's always a statue for this, a statue for that, statue for that. It's so many statues that you don't even know what is what. And a statue, think of a statue that's frozen. It's no way that we're going to be standing like a statue, because we move. We're from the power from within, and the Spirit of God moves. So, but no matter how cleverly this Marxist argument is made, the hard fact is that whenever you give up a right, you lose a free choice. So when you give up your rights, believe me, they're going to take it, and you lose your free choice. This adds another control. Control's real name is bondage. Let me say that again. Control's real name is bondage. The logical conclusion would be, if giving up some rights produces a better society, then by giving up all rights, we could produce the perfect society. We could chain everybody to a tree for lack of trust, then may prevent a crime. But it would destroy privacy, which is the heartbeat of freedom. It would also destroy trust, which is the foundation for dignity. Rather than giving up rights, we should be giving up wrongs. The opposite of control is not chaos. More laws do not make less criminals. We must give up wrongs, not rights, for a better society. William Pitt of the British House of Commons once proclaimed, necessity is the plea for every infringement of human liberty. It is the argument of tyrants. It is the creed of slaves. Wow. Now, this is it for right now, but I want you all to really listen to this. Now, you can get this book. I'm doing this. It's a book. It's called Citizens Rule Book, and it's the Bill of Rights Jury Handbook. And actually, you can just type in Citizens Rule Book, and you'll be able to pull it up. You can go on online and find it. But you need to know this. The next one I'm going to be doing is inalienable and unalienable, or natural rights. You're going to know the difference, because we have these, but because of man, how they destroy everything, they took them away, and we gave up our rights. All right, this is Rahn, Anthony, Real Issues. I'm just giving you some things so that you can actually get this for yourself. And make sure you listen to this. This is something that we need right now, because our world is in the midst of change and it's for the best. They do have Nasara Jasara. You make sure you look that up. Nasara Jasara, which is going to put us to have heaven on earth, and it's going to be a blessing for all of us. And I really appreciate you. Make sure you share, like, and just share this message. Like it, subscribe to wherever I'm putting this, because this is something that everybody needs to know. We are one as a family. You can check out my music on RahnAnthoni.com. That's RahnAnthoni.com. Also, you can listen to WMQGradio.com. Great music. And please give. Please give. You can go to PayPal, and it's They Can't Talk But We Can at gmail.com, and the funds will go to the special needs community, because I'm working with the special needs. I have the radio station for the special needs, and it's time that we change what's going on. Okay? This is Rahn Anthony. Thank you, and stay blessed.